Right. So today we're going to be looking at positioning, how to position elements in CSS. Let's see, CD. Okay. HTML, CSS. See what's in here. So what I'm going to do is to just create a new file. Positioning. Okay. All right. Yep. Screen. Okay, so for the positioning, let me create HTML. This file. And then I call this CSS positioning. Okay, so we're going to learn how to place elements in different ways, how to position elements on the page. Yeah, so for today, we're going to be looking at the properties, the position property in CSS. So we're going to learn about the position property. And to be able to do that, I'm going to create some HTML. Let me just call it CSS positioning. Let's create some article. So that's this point again. Okay. Article. Let me call this. Let me give the class name and call it article 01. And then I'm going to generate a test. Okay, so this is how you generate some random text. Okay, just type in LORM. Yeah, see this? Lorem. So just some random text generates. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me do it again. Lorem, enter. I'm just going to make sure that it has. So yeah, I'm going to create this. Let's see. I'm going to create this, duplicate this. Let's see how I can duplicate that. How do you do that? Okay, so in your keyboard, if you press Alt key and Shift, and then press the arrow up, down arrow, it's going to duplicate like this. Okay. But it looks like I did not copy it well, so I want to copy the whole article like this, and then duplicate it. So create a few of them. So this one is class. So let me just call this one class 2. I think I also need to add something here. Let me add H2 and call it article 1. And then do that for the rest of them. This should be 2. This should be 3 for the class. And then this should be 3. This is 4. This should be 4. So this article tag, right? So whenever you have to create like a set of text like this, like different article, just like you have different articles in a newspaper or in a blog. Okay, like similar articles, we can use the article tag. Okay, so let's see what it looks like when I run it. So just you can see that. Okay, can you see this?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay,
Yes.
fantastic. Okay, so we want to see how we can, position this, obviously looking like just it look very, very plain. So the every element on the page is actually positioned, all right, in a way, but that this is the default position of all of the elements. So they just appear from top to bottom. But let's see how
So,
we can, sorry?
sorry, please. This article, is it also a tag?
Yeah, it's a tag. Yeah, it's a tag. That's what I'm saying. If you have like text like this, maybe you want to create some article,
Okay.
some different like newspaper kind of thing. Okay.
Mm,
Different article, like you can use the article tag. Okay.
okay.
But you can also use other tag. But the thing is that the article tag now basically it makes it easier for screen readers to be able to read. You want to make something that even if somebody, even people that are visually impaired, they can still browse through your website. So all these semantic articles, semantic tags make it easier for them to browse through because the screen reader will read to them as different article, okay, or different session. Okay, so yeah, this is very, very plain. So let's include some HCSS. So I think for that, I'm going to just do the CSS in a different file. I'll call it styles or CSS. Okay. So, and in fact, just to also remind us of a Google font, let me just go and pick some Google fonts just to make it look a little bit better. So I'm just going to take my favorite font, which is Lato. So click on it. Get embed. So instead of using the link, I'm just going to use the import. Okay. So there are two different ways to handle that. So I'm just going to put the import here in CSS. Remember, when you're putting the import here, you have to put it in CSS, not in whether in the tag, whether under the style tag in HTML or just put it inside the CSS and put it. So now I can say, remember, we know what to normalize everything, by saying that, okay, we want all the default padding and default margin should be 0 so that we can use our own margin and control everything, okay? Because when you're using different browsers, they have different value for their default margin. So these 3 lines should always be there at the top of your code, CSS. So box sizing, border box. Okay, so don't worry too much about it. Okay, so let's see what that is. Of course, we have not linked it, so let's go and link the CSS. Remember, we usually link the CSS in the head. Say link. So just like file, because they are in the same folder, so just type this file name. Okay, you can see by just typing that, you can see that the whole thing has adjusted because they have their own default margin and padding. So, but by normalizing it here with this, so if I comment this out, it's going to go back to how it was. You see, because the browser, gives you the default pattern. So you don't want to do that because if you write an application and people open in different browser or different devices, they may look different. Okay, so we want to have control over everything by just writing these 3 lines. Okay, so let us do some more. I'll just say the body. I want the body, the font family to be the one I just copied, Lato. You can see it, I just changed now. That's all right. Okay, and then so have the article. Of course, I want look at these articles now. So I want some margin between them. So I have to write my own margin by saying, okay, so for all the article, so this will apply to all of them. I can put a margin of say doesn't matter, I can put 20 pixels, right? And then put one thing I can also put here, it will be make sure that it's okay, width. Maybe I just put some width and just make width of 50%. Okay, let it just look like this. So I can move them around and you see what we're looking at very well. So also, I think we can do something again to it. Okay, so again, I'm going to look at the articles that ends child. Okay, the articles that are all at odd number positions. Okay, what I want to do to them is to do the background color of, say, crimson. Okay, so these are the ones that are odd number positions, right? And then the ones at odd even number positions, even number position, which ends side even. So this is just to separate them to make them look a bit different. So I'll just put the background color of something that looks like E F D D E F D E. No, I think, yeah, maybe this is okay. Can you guys see the contrast between them?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so you can see that they look a bit
Yes.
different from each other, yeah? F D E D, maybe let me see with this one. F E F E D E. Okay, let's just look at them like this. Let's just use this. Okay, let's see. And of course, they're still not looking nice, so we have to make them look a bit nice. So I have to come here and put the padding. Now, because if I put the padding here article, it will apply to both of them. So I'll just put padding of, say, 10 pixels. Okay, looks better, isn't it? Then I put a border radius as well of 10 pixels. Looks even more better. I think the text, looks a little bit too dark. Okay, let me just make the font width. So let me just make it 400. No, 400 is okay. Yeah, I think let's just do 200. Okay, 200 is too small. Maybe the 200 is better. Okay, or 300. Okay, so this is just for us to, get something that we can move around. Okay, so what else can we do? Okay, so this position, the header, I think we can do something there as well. So let me just do header. I think for this header, let's do something like this. Instead of having just the header like that, I'm going to do this. So I'm going to write A. So let me show you guys some shortcuts. So let's say I want to write this tag, I want to write it 5 times. Okay. So what you can just do is just do A like this times 5. Or let's just see times 5. Let's see. So you have all of that. Okay, but of course it's not going to go. We're not going to CSS positioning. Position. Position. Then the next one would be home. Let's just do another one and call it services. And then let's do another one. No, I think this is wrong position. Let's cut this cut. This there. And then the last, okay, it's not the last one yet. So let us do about. No, that's not correct. It should be here. So we're not linking them to anywhere. So we're just trying to show something here. Contacts. Okay, so you can see that we have just built something very simple and straightforward, but it looks interesting. Okay, for the purpose of this, I'm just going to add one more tag. So I'm going to move this one, duplicate this one on, and then change the, why is it article 3 again? It's supposed to be 5, isn't it? So this should be 5, and this should be 5. Then this should be 6, and this should be 6. Okay, so but we're going to come back to, I want us to do something, but we'll come back to that later. Okay, so in CSS, right, on the web page, or maybe we should go to the web page. Let me see what I can open it on the web page. Fine, open in browser. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, which is okay. Fantastic. So what we want to do now is to position this. All right. So there are different. Actually, we have static positioning. So let's do something at the positioning now. So when you say static positioning, let's look at, we're going to position them individually. Okay. So let me do something at the header. First of all, let me put a class here for the header. So I'll just put class header as well. Okay, so I can use header dot here. Then move those lines. So I'll just say, okay, let me just put a here first. So I'm looking at the tag inside the header. All right. So I'll just do test decoration because I don't like those lines. None. And then for the header itself, let me just do width 100% to occupy the whole width. And then I do background color. Let's use gray. Okay, maybe just use black or something that looks like black. So 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, black. Okay, but don't worry about that. We'll come back to this. Okay, so let's look at this article first. Let's look at the article number 1. So we have a class name called article 01. So in CSS, we have a couple of different type of positioning. So let me type CSS position. Okay, CSS layout. Okay, maybe let's just use, yeah, that's fine. So look at this now. We have static, relative, fixed, absolute, and sticky. Okay, these are the position property. That's what we're trying to learn here now. So a position property can either be static, of course. So if I do static here, static does not change anything. So I'll just do static position. So static. So static is the default position. So all elements are static. Okay, so it does not change anything. We're looking at this one. Okay, but the first one I want us to look at is the relative position. Yeah, relative position, what it does is that it positions this element relative to other element, like relative to its original position. Okay, but it's not affected by any other element in the group. Okay, so all these other elements, they're in the same, all of them are on the same page, right? Yeah, but I'm going to move this one without affecting the positions of this one. This one will not be moved. It will not affect them at all. So if you want to just move one particular element out of many like this, you need to use relative positioning. So I will change it to relative. Once I do that, nothing will happen. But then once you put relative positioning, right, there are things now, properties that are available. Okay, maybe let's go back to the same properties. So you have static, and I do top, let's say 20 pixels. Nothing happened. I do left, 100 pixels. Nothing happened. Okay, now because this static position is default position and these values don't work with that. So, but if I change this now, so now I'm going to remove it and then retype again and say positioning, because we're looking at relative, and do exactly the same thing. Top 20%, 20 pixels. See, it has moved that below. Now, how CSS calculate positioning, right? Position is like the top is your 0, 0, Okay, like when you have the X and Y axis, right? You normally have X and Y axis like this, and you count from 0 top. But in the browser or in computer, we usually count the top left, usually our 0, 0. Then you have Y downwards, like this positive Y, and you have positive X like this. Okay. So when I say top 20%, I'm saying that I want to move it up, like in this direction, the positive Y, which is down now, 20%. But if I say I want to move it, okay, yeah, that just, yeah, that's this. So this positive Y top. Now let's move it left. Okay, left now, positive left is like this. So I move it left 100 pixels. Left, put 100 pixels. You can see it has moved from this original position now, left. Maybe we should leave it, we should first of all leave it at the same position. Let's remove the top for now. Okay, so we have moved it, shifted it like this, and it's not, doesn't affect these ones. Okay, you can see they are still in their positions. Okay, in fact, I can still move it. Let me move it 50, try to, okay, 50 pixels top, which it will shift. Remember, this is a positive Y axis, so it will shift like this. So it's covering that one now. So let's put it 60 instead. Sorry, the pixels. Okay, so see how we're moving it around. Okay, so that's how you're positioning these elements. Now, in fact, let's make this items. Let me also show you guys one thing before we continue. So you can see this. I want to put shadow around this element. So all you just need the shadow values, you don't cram them. Just go and type box shadow. Box shadow generator, maybe. I don't know. You can do the box shadow. Okay, so you have some of them. But let's look at let's look at the first one and see what it looks like. If we have anything interesting, this is not looking very interesting. So let's just go to the next one. Okay, consent. Okay, so this, I think this one looks a bit more interesting. You can see the shadow on this. Okay. Can you all see the shadow?
Yes.
So if I,
Yes,
so
I
you
can
can,
see it.
you can play around with it. Okay, I play around. See how the shadow, I play around with this now. You know, see, I can play around with blur radius. These are the values here. You can see these are the values. See, the values are changing as I'm moving it. You see, the values are changing. So you don't cram any of those values, these values. So it just, okay, I think this one looks nice. So it's looking, yeah, so I can just copy this. Okay, and go to my article because that's where it is and paste there. Okay, so don't worry too much about all the things. So you can see it gives me 3 values, this one and that one, this one. Okay, this is the recent one. This is for older browsers. So I'm just going to remove this because I believe that my browser is, so whenever you have WebKit is to solve some other problem that exists in older browser. Okay, but if you are doing real world something, right? If you are doing real world application, you need to put them because people may use older browsers to do this stuff. Can see it has changed the whole thing, looks a bit more interesting. That's boss shadow. Okay, so that's just aside. So now you can see that the positioning there. So this is relative position. What does it do? Relative positioning will position the element relative to its original position without affecting other elements around it. Okay, so it will just be like on top of it. So yeah, so that's relative positioning. Okay. Any question about relative position? Because that's just basically you can move them around, you can move it, you can reduce this to make it go up. Let me put 40. Okay, so I put 40, it goes up a little bit. If I put 140, it goes down because this is the positive y-axis. All right, the top. When I say top, is count from here or downwards. Okay, so if I put minus, okay, let's look at this. Let's put 500 here for the x. Okay, so it shifted it that way. Maybe put 300 instead. So yeah, now can see it moves it's positive axis, right? Okay, so let's change it to, maybe let's change it back to 100 for now. Okay, and then change this one to 40. Okay, so this is just basically position. You can see it's moving around. Okay, we can place it anywhere by using this relative position, but it's not, it doesn't affect the positions of these other elements. They are still where they are. Okay, now let's now look at this element number 5. Okay, let's look at, okay, maybe let's look at element number 3. Okay, so let's do, now this is for relative position. Okay, positioning. So remember, we have different types of position. We have static, which is just the normal one. Okay, that default positioning. So we don't even need to use it because it's there by default. So let's look at another one, which is called, let's look at absolute positioning. Yep. And to do the absolute positioning, how the absolute position works is that absolute position works as if you are taking something away from the page, right? So let's say you have your phone on the table, you raise your phone up, and then every other thing on the table now occupies that position. That's how relative positioning are. So if I apply relative positioning here on this one is going to occupy, article number 4 is going to occupy that position. Okay, so it's as if you're just raising it up so that other things under will enter. The other things now will be under it. Okay, so let's look at how that works. So I'm going to apply that as article number 3. Okay, so I'll say position. This time absolute. Okay, see what has happened there. So by just putting position absolute, it takes it off the page so that now 4 you can see now 4 is under 3 now. Okay, let's watch again. Let me just comment that. Okay, so you see 4 here. Now it's like you are bringing article 3 to yourself. I'm taking to myself, then the 4 now occupied up. So absolute positioning will affect the other elements. That's what that means. That's what it means. Okay, so let's see. So let me try that again. Move this comment and move that comment. Okay, so you see now F. Now I can also apply top. No, maybe let me just do left so that we can see number 4 stay. Yeah, so put 100 pixels. So you see, I moved it. It's now under. Now, there's also something we can do. Okay, but maybe let's just finish the positioning first for here now. Okay, so you see, you can move things around, flow them around with this. So of course, we can use bottom. So if I do bottom, let's see what happens. Let's do 50 pixels. So you see, it goes up a little bit. Okay, let me do 50. Okay, so bottom, like it can be a bit confusing. When you say top means it should come down, bottom should mean it should go up. Yeah, because the thing is that the bottom really is the negative axis or negative direction. Why the if you are coming from Mars, this might confuse you, but this is what it is here. So the positive direction is actually downwards here. Not like you have a Mars that is upward. So when I say bottom now, I'm actually moving it up. So bottom is almost like saying you want to move it in a negative direction up. Okay, for instance, if I change, let me remove the bottom here for now and then do top minus 50%, 50 pixels. Okay, what happened? It goes to the top. That is, you basically want to go outside of the page. Okay, it wants to go outside of the page because that's minus or the other side. Because remember, this is 0, 0. This one is 0, 0. So minus is up here, away from here. Okay, so just take note of that. So I'm just going to do this bottom again. Bottom, I do 40 pixels. Okay, no, sorry, it's not correct. Okay, so that's bottom. Okay, so now remember the difference between this position now. In the case of relative position, the position does not affect the other elements are the same. But this one is like you're taking it away from the page. Okay, so just like you take your phone up from a table, then any other thing on the table now occupies that position automatically. That's what the absolute position is. All right. So there's another positioning called okay, let's look at the next one. Fixed. It's becoming more interesting now. Fixed positioning. Are you guys seeing this thing? I think it should be, yeah. So fixed positioning. So let's apply fixed positioning on, okay, maybe just look at it on the page as well. Let's see. So look at these elements now. Look at how they are. Let's apply fixed positioning on element number. I think what will help us here is if we increase the number of elements. So let me just create more of this. So just double probably that. So have 6. No, this should be 7. And this should be 7. And you can see now, once I just add those elements, yeah, the colors are affected because I already defined a rule that defines the way they should be displayed. Okay, that's one good thing about this CSS stuff and creating things properly. Okay. All right, so we have that. And if I come here, so at least we can scroll now, have all of these elements. Okay. So let's look at the fixed one. Let's apply fix on number 6. Number 6 is okay. I think we actually had. So I'm just going to change one of these 6 to 9. And then move it to the bottom. So move it to the bottom. Okay, so that we can make some sense. Okay. Okay, so let's do that. Article 6. Article, so I'll do position, this time fixed. Now, let's see what happened now. Something has happened. Okay. Why is 6 now? You don't know where it is. Okay. So, but let's just position it properly. Let me say from the top should be 100 pixels from the top. Okay, look at where it is now. Because as I'm scrolling now, I'm scrolling all of them. You see 6 is just stationary there. Can you see that? So let me, so it's left,
Yes.
100 pixels. Okay, so I scroll, you can see 6 there. You can see
Okay,
it's just there.
positioning. Okay.
Yeah, that's fixed positioning. Okay, so stay here. Okay, fixed positioning. So these are the different ways you can position your stuff. I'm sure you guys have seen some things like this on the internet, right?
Very, very well.
Yeah.
Many times. So I begin to
Yeah.
wonder.
Yeah, that now you'll be able to do it. Don't worry. Okay, in fact, there's one more interesting one which we are going to now do. Okay, so so this is fixed positioning. So the next one, which is the last one we're going to consider, is a sticky position. Okay, I'm sure this one you have also seen it. So that's where we're going to just do some. So we're going to do that on this one thing here. Okay, so let me just make it look a bit more visible. Background color black. Let's do color. Let's do color white, which is just FFF. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, that's not where to put that. It's in the. This is where to put that. Okay, so it's coming up here now. Let's add some padding. Because you can see now the thing is not having any breathing space, so I'm just going to add some padding to make it breathe a little bit. 10 pixels. Okay. And okay, maybe before we padding, we can just. Okay, I don't want to introduce flexbox now. Next time we're going to look at flexbox. So let us put the padding and maybe test align. Not this one. Test align center. Okay. And Okay, let's do, I think, the padding here. Okay. Okay. Let's increase the font size. Let's make it like 1.2 plus 20%. Okay. So you see, so I'm sure you've seen some website when you scroll, the thing stays here, right? The position stays here, and then the thing, these other ones can scroll. Have you seen that before?
Yes.
Where you have the menu remains where it is, and then yeah. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay. Okay, so it's called sticky positioning. And for that, what I want to do now is to rearrange this. Maybe I should just comment out these ones first. Let me just comment out this positioning so that we can have, probably also comment out this one. Probably let me just comment out. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's leave this one. Maybe I should just comment out all the other positionings for now, because I think this one is more interesting than the other ones. So okay, so we are back to where we were, which is this. Okay. Okay, so right now, looking like, it's not really looking nice. In fact, let me just add something here. Don't like to see, let's see, let's add margin, let's add margin. So, okay. Padding. Okay, I think it looks a little bit better than. Okay, no, this margin, I think I don't want margin left. Sorry. So I just do 20 pixel, 0 pixel, 20 pixel. Okay, just do. Yeah, and I'm going to move this thing actually. I'm going to move this heading here. Let me just move it. Where is it? Somewhere in here. So I'm just going to move this just to demonstrate this thing we're trying to do. So let me put it somewhere after the fourth one. Let's see. Fourth article. So that means, look at it here, right? It's in between. And then you have things up and you have things down. Okay, so what I want to do now is that as I scroll, okay, when it gets to the top, I want it to stay there, and then I can scroll the rest. Okay. So maybe I should actually move it one step up. So I'm just going to do this. How do we do it again? Oh, sorry. And just crop that and put it probably here. Yeah, let it be there. Up. I've something. I've done something to this thing now. What is this? Okay, so I went and copied that one. So all right, so I'm going to put it yeah, right here. So we have 3 up, and then we have about 6, right? Okay, so what I want to do is that as I scroll this, I move this, I move it. When it gets to the top, I want it to remain there, and then this one will continue to scroll. Okay, so to do that, you do what we use what we call sticky. We already have the header here actually, so this is the header, right? So let's just do position. I like to put it at the top here. Position, not relative this time, but sticky. And then the sticky, okay, let's see what happens first of all. Okay, it looks like it's not working. Okay, I'll put the sticky. So for this one to actually work, obviously, just like the other ones, you need to put the left or the top. Okay, at least the top. The top is very important in this case because you want it to stop somewhere. Okay, And remember, this stop is 0, 0. So if I want to stop at 0, in fact, I can say maybe I don't want it to really be attached to the top, right? So one thing I can do is to say top, not just 0. I can put 0, which is what it is now, right? But I think I'll put -1 just to make sure that I don't leave any space at all. It's really attached there. Like you're moving from the houses from 0 line to -1. You are still very close. So I want to be attached. So as I come, so now look at it now. I move. Look at it here. I move. I keep going. It stays there, and then this one keep moving. See that? So when I come out, it comes on again, and then it stays there. Okay. So same thing here. So if I move, it goes to the top and stay there, and then this one. Although of course I don't have more space there, but if I add more things here, you can see that it will obviously stay there, and then this one will keep scrolling. So it makes more sense here. Okay. So that is it. So yeah, I'm sure we are learning a lot of tools, a lot of techniques to see how we can. One thing I want us to get here is this positioning. Now, this position can be very, very confusing when you are studying them by yourself. Okay, I remember the first time I tried to, I did not just understand. Took me time, took me a lot of practice to be able to really understand this positioning. Because we just say absolute, you don't really understand what it is. Okay, because so yeah, we also learned about what is this. Okay, so these are the positions. Okay, position property: static, relative, fixed, absolute, and sticky. We also learned about boss shadow, right? So I just type boss shadow generator because I want to get something like a shadow like this. So remember, all these values they have names, right? For instance, if I do offset, you can see the inset is off. So I'll just put the inset here. And I can, maybe I just need this one. So I'll just go. So when you put the inset, you see what happened now. Look at difference between them. So because sometimes you need to really see exactly what's going on before you'll be able to explain it. See, if I put outside, look at what it is now. It's moving out of the page. But this other one is like it's diving inside the page when you do insert. So if I change to insert here. So if you want it like this, you just need to do is to add insert. Okay. You can add it at the beginning, you can add it at the end. So I'll just go back here to where I have the box shadow, and in fact I'll add it at the beginning. Then they add it at the end. So I'll add it at the beginning. See that? So it has changed. So instead of coming out, it's just like diving in to the page. Okay, so you can also have that. You can put it off, you can put it on. Because the most important thing, like you can say, you give you 3 values here, but only one is actually much more important. But of course, if you are building a website, just copy all of them because of this is for people using Mozilla. There's some issues. There can be some issues with Mozilla, older version of Mozilla, and then that's Firefox, right? Older version of Firefox, and then older version of Chrome. Okay, WebKit, older version of Chrome, most, yeah. And then this is just like the modern version of Chrome, which I have, so I don't really need any of this, so that. But you don't trust that your users are going to have the newest version of Chrome. Okay, so that's why you have to always, you may see it in different website code. Okay, so yeah, so that's it for the positioning. We have learned something I believe that is very, very important. Okay, and it's very, very, but the thing is also actually not looking nice to me anymore. So maybe I should just remove the box shadow. Let it just look like this. Okay, so I'll just remove the box shadow. Let's just look not normal. Okay. Okay, see that? So when we come next time, we're going to take a look at how to align elements, like things like I don't know, I can see. Okay, anyway, do we have any question? This ones. So if I
Thank
comment
you.
out, sorry.
No question, but just to get the video. So
Okay,
practice.
yeah, you need definitely, yeah, sure, that's true, because you need to really take a look at this. And so I'm just going to remove these other things again. This positioning. You can see how everything is just scattered along you, and then this H6 is just there, and so I'm putting everything together now. They're all working, all of them. These other ones are displayed. Okay, I think I forgot this. Okay, So look at okay, so let's just do this now. Let me add something. Should we do that to number? Okay, let me just comment out this one now further. Okay, so look at where is 4? 4 is here, 1 is there. Okay, yeah. So you can see that Article 2 is under Article 3. Okay, but you can flip them. You can bring up 2, or in the case of 1 is also Article 2 is under Article 1. Okay, let's start with that one first. You can change the positioning, like you bring and then put 1 behind. Okay, to be able to do that, okay, you just need something very simple, a property called the Z index. Okay, so I put Z index. If you just type it, you see there. Now put a value. Now the one that you want to be on top, put a higher value for that. So if you always want, but the one that you want to put under should be a lower value. So usually we just put minus for, maybe you can put minus. You can see by putting -1 now on 1, you see 2 is now on top of 1. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So if you put it on 3,
Let's see. See that?
okay.
Yeah, but it has to be minus, like in this case now. Now, when you put when you are sure that that is what you want, right?
Mm.
When you're sure that that is what you want, you have to put a higher value on the other ones. Let's try on this one and see. You know, the 6 is just there, you know, fixed there on top of everything. Okay, let's give it some Z index. I'll put some minus, maybe -10 in this case. And then all of a sudden, 6 is still there, but now under. Can you see?
Mm.
Yeah, 6 is now under. Okay, but then the ones that you want on top, you need to put a higher value. But by putting minus now, why do I put minus? So that the default value is 0. Okay, everyone has 0 index. So once you put minus, it means that that one is lower than the other ones. For instance, if I always want one to be always ahead, like always on top, right? For instance, I want 2 to be always ahead, to be on top. So I just need to put a high value for the Z index, like something like this. I can just put, okay? So that any value I put now, if I put 10, 2 still be on top. If I put 3, 2 go on the other ones, right? But if I put like 20,000 on 1 now, is 2, and that one can overtake 2 and 2 will be under. Okay, so the higher the value, the more the thing will come up, be on top. Okay. Okay, so that graph 5, 6 that was looking stubborn is now on top. It's now under. Okay, so these are just the things now that I wanted us to take a look at. All right, so that's it for me today. So any question?
Mm. Oh.
Yeah.
So
So next time we're going to now learn how to, let me see if I can see an example, how to align elements properly. Like you can see how these things are aligned here. You know, they are all small icons. They are all are arranged properly and carefully. You know, yeah. So things like this. See how the whole of this thing. See how this guy, this is arranged in line with all this. So this is what we call flexbox. Okay. So we are going to take use of flexbox. I think we have like maybe. Hopefully, I believe we'll be able to complete our CSS next month so that we can jump into JavaScript later on. So I'm exposing us to a lot of stuff so that when we jump in, because we're not coming back to CSS, right? So any other thing. So I'm just trying to explore even the way you get this, some of this thing. For instance, now, like I showed you this one, post shadow. Okay. There's also another one, which I think, I don't know whether I will have time to do, click path. Okay. I'm just to click path generator, which are some of the things you probably have seen online as well. Let me see. There used to be CSS generator for different types of shapes. You can see all this shape But no, I don't know whether this is a website. Yeah, but so basically, if you want something like this, you can just let me just clip path CSS. That's one particular website I used to. No. Um, where is it? And this is the main stuff. So you can see things like this, different type of shapes. So you don't need to cram the value. You just need to just come here, just get the shape you want, and then just copy and put in your stuff. Okay, but there's one particular website that's quite interesting. I can't remember. Probably this one. Yeah, I think it's this one. So you can just basically get all kind of shapes. Like if you have a picture and you want to display like this on your website, okay?
Yes.
Like an arrow like this. Yeah, you just need to come here. And if you want something like this, a picture, this is also a normal picture. You can do any picture to be like this. Okay? This, look at different shapes. This, that, like an arrow. Okay, background picture and something like this. Okay, so you can, yeah, I think this is the website, yeah. So you can play around with the shape that you want. Okay. And of course, you just need to take that and then copy the code here. It's just right there. Okay. And then paste on your code. It's clip path polygon. So you have some values. It's not value. You just need to know the property, which is called clip path. Okay. And then you can have different shapes and different. It's chevron, left, like a message, picture, image, and circle, and all of that. Ellipse, insert kind of thing, cross, iPad. Yeah, so these are some of the things that we don't have time to cover every single thing, but there are things that you can use. Okay, there are things we can use. And then yeah, so I think this one was quite interesting. And yeah, with what we have learned here, you can really build some things you can really build a site that looks very, very nice. And that looks very, very nice. Okay, so that is it for me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, so next time we're going to learn about hopefully we're going to learn about Flexbox, and I told you that we're going to learn transition.
Yes, transition.
Yeah, so maybe we can do that transition since we started positioning now. Let's just do Flexbox and then we'll do grid. So after grid now, the last thing should be transition and animation. Okay, where you can put a mouse on something and then the thing will change to maybe like square. The thing will now transition to a circle. Okay, whatever. So those kind of stuff we can play around as the last things we're going to be doing. So once we are done with that, we are going to jump into JavaScript. And then JavaScript now is the main, that's when you say front end. Because the CSS and HTML of course, it gives you the ability to design stuff. If you are one thing about CSS to build a website, like if you are very, very creative in terms of your color and the way you choose things. I've shown us how to choose color and all of that. Yeah, but obviously all those things come with practice. The more you practice, the more you learn, and the more you get used to this stuff. But yeah, we're going to learn as much as possible that when you open a website, like as you're looking at for instance, this Google Meet now, you see the pictures like where arranged a grid. Okay, say Benjamin, Felix, Henry, Michael.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is just a grid, which you can also, build. When we do grid templates, you see that you can arrange things like that. And then you can arrange things like a grid like this and put your picture in the middle of the grid. And then put a border radius of what 50%, which is what we are saying here. That's why your picture is a circle. So in a circle. That should. Okay, so these are things that you can basically just do any of these things, but as long as you're creative. Okay, because you have the tools now. All right, guys. So I'll see you guys again next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the video is help us now.
Yes,
Is it
please.
today or tomorrow?
Yeah. Hopefully today. Hopefully today. Let's see. Because it will take some time to but they will send me an email like maybe an hour or 30 minutes time that the video is ready, and then yeah. All right. So I'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.